Hello everyone, I am here in our beautiful sanctuary at Eitz Chaim in Livingston. As you can see, we are set, ready to go for another fantastic Shabbos. I just wanted to give you a brief update and hopefully little words of Torah as we enter into this Shabbos. It's been to say the least, a challenging few weeks for community, for the Jewish people. We've just gone through incredible elections in Israel. Whatever your thoughts are on that, but to see the democratic process in action is really something, and we hope that Israel will continue to thrive under this new leadership, new old leadership, however you want to put it, but we'll leave that to the Israeli pundits to figure out. But for us here, when we are facing a very harsh reality of constant threats of anti-Semitism, overt, covert, whether it's in the media with people who are quote-unquote famous athletes who will not stand up and do the right thing and admit mistakes or admit their bias against the Jewish people. And I have to give great kudos to the New Jersey Nets. We've never had much of a reason to cheer for the New Jersey Nets, but now I do. And kudos to them for calling out hatred and bigotry for what it is. When people try to put hush money or say, I'm going to give donations to whatever organization, until you admit, until you recognize the trouble with your stances that you take in the world today, I'll accept no less. So kudos to the New Jersey Nets and the NBA. And it's been a very trying time. And then, of course, yesterday, as we were kind of preparing for Thursday evening, of course, we were all bombarded with these very menacing messages from the FBI, threat alerts from every organization, every Jewish organization, school, shul, and including what we put out, where we're not used to seeing these types of things, but the threat is very real. And this is the society in which we live. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the response? What should we do? In Parshas Lecha, which we'll read here tomorrow, Avraham goes through quite a lot. Hashem tells him, leave your homeland. Leave your family. Go to a place. I don't even know where it is. Go to the land of Canaan, ultimately, is where he goes. He takes his family. He takes his people. He has challenges. There's famine. He has to leave. He has to go to Egypt. He has trouble with his, there's always a brother-in-law in the business that kind of gives you a problem. He has trouble with Lot, and they separate. And then Lot gets captured and kidnapped. He has to go to battle with the war, the 4 kings, the 5 kings. And it's right after that. And the trials and tribulations continue for Avraham, but it's right after that when Hashem says, Avram, he says, Al tira, don't worry. Anochi magen lecha scharcha harbe ma'od. I will protect you, your reward is great. So Avram, who could have given up, he could have thrown in the towel, he could have said, what do I need this for? I could go back to Mesopotamia and just live a nice, comfortable life and nobody will bother me. But no, he listened to the word of Hashem, he understood that he is the bearer of tradition. He's the original Jew, he's the original wandering Jew. He is Avraham HaIvri, who is the father and founder of our people, for which we take his name, the Hebrews, Ivriim, because we're always be'ever echad, we're on one side, and the rest of the world seems to be on the other. So when I look at this, I think the response to when we have these alerts, which, by the way, we take extremely seriously. Do not get me wrong. Security, we take very seriously in the shul. From the very get-go, I and our leadership, we were in touch with Livingston Police Department, with the county, with the state, with the mayor, and everything was in incredible concert, how we work together, because they understand, we understand the partnership that we have in the community. They have ticked up their patrols, but we also have to do our part, which means that if you see something, say something. If you see a door that's open that should be closed, close it. If you see something that's out of the ordinary, tell the security officer, tell Essex County Sheriff that's here every Shabbos, tell one of the officers of the shul, tell me, tell one of the staff here, anyone, that you see something out of the ordinary and it will be addressed, because nothing can be taken for granted. But on the other hand, the real response that we have to have is to show up. What our enemies want for us is they want us to be less Jewish or gone altogether. And the answer to that, which I always say, is that we have to be more Jewish. You want to show our enemies how we battle anti-Semitism? Show up. We don't shut down, we show up. So I will ask each and every one of you, this Shabbos, more than any other Shabbos, make it your business to come to Shul. I promise you will be safe. I understand the concerns that people have, but they are being addressed at every single level. But our response should be, show up. Come tonight for Friday night davening. Come tomorrow. We have a wonderful Kiddush being sponsored by the Migdals. Come, Shalashidus. We learn, but come to Shul. In this week, when for our community was a difficult week because we lost one of our most beloved members, Lucy Pantira Zichron Livracha. And she and her husband, Murray Zichron Livracha, whose yahrzeit was also this week, and their entire family have spent their lives rebuilding the Jewish community, fighting hatred, fighting anti-Semitism, fighting those who wish to destroy us. The response that we have to have in her honor, in her memory, is that we have to fight for Judaism, and we fight by showing up. We fight by being here in Shul and by being part of Jewish causes. So I want everyone to have a safe Shabbos. Be aware of our heightened measures. Hopefully this threat will be mitigated by the time Shabbos comes in. But whatever it might be, we still have to be careful. We have to be vigilant. We have to be observant. But most importantly, we have to be present. We have to be here. So I want to take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a wonderful, safe Shabbos. I look forward to seeing so many more of you in Shul than we might normally get, because this is the time for us to step up. This is the time for us to show up. This is the time for us to show who we are and that our enemies will not have the best of us. So looking forward to seeing you all. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you tomorrow in Shul.